What if I told you that the life you're living right now, your goals, your desires, even your very sense of self may not really be yours? Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that much of what you have worked for, dreamed of, and even believed about yourself has been carefully shaped not by your own soul, but by the invisible hand of society. We grow up thinking our choices are free, our ambitions authentic, and our identity self-made. But how much of that is true, and how much is simply the echo of a script written long before we were born? From the moment you first stepped into a classroom, turned on a television, or scrolled through a glowing screen, stories were being fed to you. Stories about what success looks like, who is worthy of respect, what happiness should feel like, and even how love ought to be lived. These narratives were not created by you, but they silently became the architecture of your life. And without realizing it, you began to build your identity on foundations that were never really yours. So I ask you directly, how much of your life is authentic, and how much is just society's mask placed upon you? How much of your energy is spent chasing standards that were designed to keep you striving, comparing, and conforming, yet never truly arriving? Beneath the noise of modern life lies a truth most people never confront. The life they are living is not the life their soul longs for, but the life society has sold to them. This realization can be terrifying, but it can also be the very first crack in the illusion, the opening of a door that leads not to despair, but to awakening. Because once you begin to see the deception, you can no longer remain asleep. Before we dive deeper into this journey, I want to ask something simple of you. If this question already resonates with you, if you've ever felt that nagging sense that something about life doesn't quite add up, then take a moment to support this channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a like so you'll be the first to know when the next video comes out. Each one is created to help you see through the illusions and move closer to your authentic self. Now let us begin uncovering the first layer of the great deception of modern society. Modern society prides itself on progress. We look around and see dazzling technology, instant communication, endless entertainment, and we tell ourselves we are living in the most advanced age humanity has ever known. But beneath that glittering surface lies the first layer of the great deception, the replacement of reality with carefully constructed simulations. French philosopher Jean Baudrillard once warned that we no longer deal with reality itself, but with images and symbols that pretend to represent reality, while in truth they replace it. Think about that for a moment. What we consume every day through news outlets, social media, movies, and advertisements is not the world as it really is, but a curated spectacle, a performance meant to keep us engaged, distracted, and compliant. Consider the news cycle. At any given moment, millions of stories are happening across the globe, acts of kindness, moments of beauty, personal struggles, quiet revolutions. Yet the media chooses a handful of events, often exaggerated, dramatized, or framed through political and economic interests, and presents them as the world. And so what you believe to be reality is already filtered, scripted, and packaged. You see not life itself, but a selected version of it, chosen for you. Now look at advertising. Every billboard, every commercial, every targeted ad on your phone tells you what to want, what to fear, what to aspire to. Hollywood does the same with the ideals of beauty, success, and love. The glamorous lifestyles on the big screen become the unspoken standards by which ordinary people measure themselves, often leading to quiet despair. Do you really desire what you desire? Or has your desire been implanted, nurtured, and reinforced by thousands of images repeating the same message until it feels natural? Here lies the power of simulation. It doesn't merely lie to you, it reshapes your perception of what is possible and real. When a young person scrolls through Instagram and sees only perfect bodies, exotic vacations, and curated happiness, they begin to measure their self-worth against illusions. When workers see endless portrayals of wealth and luxury, They push themselves harder, not out of inner calling, but out of pressure to match a fantasy standard that was never attainable in the first place. And the danger is subtle. Because once you live inside these simulations, you stop questioning them. The image of success shown to you every day begins to feel like truth itself. The life path handed down through school, career, consumption, and retirement seems not like a choice but like the natural order of things. And yet, if you pause for just a moment, you will see the cracks. Why is it that so many people who make it, in terms of society as standards, wealth, fame, recognition, still confess to feeling empty? Why do celebrities collapse under the weight of the very lives others envy? Because they too are victims of simulation. They have pursued an image of happiness, not happiness itself. Baudrillard called this the hyperreal, a condition in which the line between reality and its representation disappears. In the hyperreal, a fast food commercial is not food, but a polished symbol of food. Social media posts are not lives, but performances of lives. Success itself is no longer fulfillment, but the appearance of fulfillment. And when appearances replace truth, people lose touch with themselves. This is the first great deception, that what you are shown is reality. But it is not. It is a performance designed to keep you consuming, striving, and comparing. And the more immersed you become, the further you drift from your authentic self. Ask yourself, how many of your desires are truly yours? When you buy a new phone, a new car, a new outfit, is it because your soul longed for it, or because you absorbed the idea that owning it makes you valuable? When you chase a career title, is it your true calling, or simply the image of success that has been broadcast into your mind since childhood? The terrifying truth is this: much of what we believe to be real life is a simulation. But once you see it for what it is, the illusion loses its grip. The first step toward awakening is to recognize that the world being presented to you, the flashing headlines, the glamorous lifestyles, the endless options of consumer goods, is not the world itself. It is a story. And like all stories, it can be rewritten. In the next part, we will peel back another layer of the great deception, the illusion of freedom. Because perhaps the most dangerous simulation of all is the belief that we are free, when in fact we are bound by invisible chains of choice. Freedom is treated as a birthright in American life, celebrated in monuments and public rituals. We learn early that freedom is our defining virtue, yet Erich Fromm warned that the version of freedom sold by modern society can be deceptive. Real freedom requires responsibility, the courage to define one's own values and to live by them even when those values conflict with public opinion. That weight scares many, so they flee into the shelter of conformity, trading authentic choice for the comfort of social scripts. Consider the everyday menu of choices: brands on shelves, streaming thumbnails, career titles, and political slogans. Each option seems like freedom because you can pick, but selection is not the same as self-direction. Algorithms predict your tastes, advertisers prime your desires, and corporate incentives shape the range of acceptable goals. The illusion of freedom comforts because it confers a feeling of control while keeping actual autonomy narrow. Fromm showed that this estrangement creates anxiety and a restless chase for novelty, since the soul craves coherent meaning more than endless stimuli. Think of the workplace where choice is marketed as mobility. You can change jobs, change titles, change employers, yet the expectation to produce and consume remains. Young people are told to be anything, but are funneled toward practical majors and stable careers, learning to value respectability over inner calling. Fromm's point is not to deny options or rights, but to insist that authentic freedom is an inner achievement, a cultivated authority that allows you to say no to trends and yes to a life aligned with your deepest values. It requires discomfort, grief, and the willingness to lose approval, but it also grants dignity. Start by recognizing where your choices are scripted, then practice small refusals. Silence an app, skip a purchase, say no to an obligation that contradicts your priorities. Those simple refusals build a muscle for genuine agency, and over time, they reorient your life toward meaning. Fromm believed that only by choosing internally rather than reacting externally can you claim a freedom no advertisement can sell. This practice will cost you comforts and friends who prefer the old script, but it will return something markets cannot provide: a coherent identity and a life that feels like your own. Begin by asking one exacting question each morning. What decision today will honor my inner standard, even if it makes life harder? Answer honestly and then act. Small acts compound into a character that cannot be sold. Fromm's invitation is clear. True liberation is not the multiplication of choices, but the cultivation of inner standards that withstand social pressure. It is cultivated through reflection, honest solitude, and the discipline to live by convictions rather than by the temporary applause of strangers. This is difficult, but it is the only path to dignity. Practice the hard work of authentic liberty, and you will discover that freedom, properly understood, is not given by markets or applause but forged within. This is Fromm's promise: freedom forged within oneself. Friedrich Nietzsche had a brutal way of stripping illusions from human life. He saw that most people, though they speak of individuality, live not by their own values but by those inherited from the herd, the collective voice of society that tells us what is acceptable, respectable, and desirable. He called this herd morality. For Nietzsche, the tragedy of modern life was not just that people followed the crowd, but that they mistook conformity for virtue. From childhood, the herd whispers in our ears. It tells us what success looks like: a steady career, a nice house, the right partner. It tells us how to behave, how to speak, how to think. Those who follow the script are praised as good citizens, while those who resist are branded as difficult, rebellious, or even dangerous. The individual is subtly pressured to trade authenticity for belonging, because to be accepted feels safer than to be free. But Nietzsche's challenge cuts deeper. He asked, what is the cost of living by borrowed values? He warned that those who never question the morality of the herd end up spiritually stunted. They become what he called the last men, comfortable, obedient, avoiding pain and risk, but never truly alive. Their lives are marked by mediocrity because greatness demands risk, and risk is exactly what herd morality discourages. You can see this everywhere in modern culture. Think of social media trends. A single idea spreads and millions mimic it, repeating the same dances, opinions, and aesthetics. Each person feels unique, yet they are moving in lockstep. Or consider politics. Most debates are framed within a narrow range of acceptable ideas, and stepping outside that range invites ridicule or cancellation. In workplaces, employees learn to suppress creativity in order to align with corporate culture. Everywhere, the herd rewards sameness and punishes deviation. Nietzsche did not despise the herd because he thought people were weak. He despised it because it strangles potential. The herd gives you ready-made values so you never have to face the painful task of creating your own. But true freedom, he argued, belongs to the one who dares to become a creator of values, who asks not, what does society approve, but what do I demand of myself? That path is lonely, and Nietzsche knew it. To live beyond herd morality means to walk a difficult road, to risk misunderstanding, even isolation. But it is also the only road that leads to greatness. For him, the goal of human life was not comfort, but self-overcoming, the transformation of weakness into strength, conformity into individuality, chaos into meaning. So I ask you, are your beliefs truly yours, or are they the herd's beliefs echoed through your mouth? When you pursue success, whose definition of success are you following? When you avoid risk, is it your own caution or the herd's fear speaking? These are uncomfortable questions, but they are essential. Because Nietzsche's challenge is not abstract, it is a call to courage. Do you dare to create your own values? To reject the safety of the herd and step into the terrifying, exhilarating work of becoming yourself? If so, you may lose comfort, but you will gain authenticity. And in that authenticity lies a power the herd can never touch. Carl Jung, the great Swiss psychologist, believed that one of the deepest deceptions of modern life is the mask we wear to survive in society. He called this mask the persona. It is the face we present to the world. Polite, competent, likable, respectable. The persona is not inherently false. It is necessary to function in relationships and communities. But the danger comes when we begin to mistake the mask for our true self. From a young age, we are trained to build this mask. Children quickly learn that certain behaviors earn praise and others invite punishment. The shy child is told to speak up, the loud child to quiet down, the dreamer to be realistic. Slowly, layer by layer, a mask is formed. By adulthood, many of us have become experts at performance, smiling when we are exhausted, saying, "I'm fine" when we are crumbling, projecting confidence while feeling lost inside. In today's culture, the persona has become even more powerful. Social media trains us to curate our lives as if they were stage performances. We post pictures of happiness, success, and productivity, not because they reflect reality, but because they preserve the mask. We measure ourselves by likes and followers, external validations of a self that may have little to do with who we really are. In this way, the mask is not just worn, it is broadcast. And the more convincing it becomes, the more distant we grow from our own soul. Jung warned that this over-identification with the persona is a kind of self-abandonment. When you live only through the expectations of others, you silence the deeper parts of yourself, the parts that feel, create, doubt, and question. This silencing leads to anxiety, emptiness, and despair, because the soul cannot be denied forever. You may succeed in maintaining the mask, but deep down, you know something essential has been lost. Think about the pressure to appear endlessly busy. In American culture, productivity has become a badge of honor. To say you are exhausted is almost a status symbol, proof that you are working hard, striving, succeeding. But beneath the performance, many are burned out, disconnected, and numb. They are applauded for the mask, while their inner life withers in silence. The tragedy, Jung argued, is that many people reach the end of their lives having never met their true selves. They die as strangers to their own soul, having lived entirely in the performance demanded by society. But there is another way. Individuation, the process of becoming whole, begins when we recognize the mask for what it is, useful but incomplete. We need the persona, but we are not the persona. Beneath it lies a deeper self, the authentic self, waiting to be acknowledged. The question then becomes, how much of your daily life is performance, and how much is truth? When you look in the mirror, do you see yourself, or do you see the mask society has taught you to wear? To even ask this question is the first step toward freedom. Because only when you dare to set down the mask, even briefly, do you begin to hear the voice of your soul. What happens when you strip away the illusions of freedom, the pressure of the herd, and the mask of the persona? You might expect to find peace, but for many, what emerges first is emptiness. It is the quiet void that arises when we realize our lives have been lived for appearances, for approval, for expectations. And it is here that Viktor Frankl, the Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, offers one of the most profound insights of the 20th century. The deepest suffering of modern man is not physical hardship, but existential emptiness, the absence of meaning. Frankl endured the unimaginable horrors of Nazi concentration camps. In those conditions, where comfort was non-existent and survival uncertain, he observed something extraordinary. Those who found meaning, even in the smallest acts, even in suffering, were able to endure. They had a reason to keep going, a purpose beyond the brutality around them. Meanwhile, those who lacked meaning collapsed, not just physically but spiritually. Frankl concluded that human beings can survive almost anything if they understand why they must endure it. Now compare that to modern life. By material standards, we are more comfortable than any generation before us. We have food, technology, entertainment, and opportunities unthinkable to our ancestors. And yet psychological suffering, anxiety, depression, burnout is at an all-time high. Why? Because comfort without meaning is hollow. Distraction without depth can numb us for a while, but it cannot sustain the soul. Beneath the noise of work, social media, and consumption lies a hunger that cannot be silenced. The hunger for meaning. Think of how many people chase careers, possessions, or status, believing each achievement will finally satisfy them. And yet, the satisfaction fades quickly, replaced by the next chase. It is like drinking salt water. The more you consume, the thirstier you become. This endless cycle reveals the great deception. Society convinces us to fill our emptiness with things, but things can never satisfy a soul that longs for purpose. Frankl's answer was not more comfort, but more courage. He insisted that meaning is not handed down by society, nor bought with money. It must be discovered, often in the places we least expect in love, in creativity, in suffering itself. Meaning, he argued, is always available because life always asks something of us. Even in the darkest moments, we can choose how to respond. That choice, however small, affirms our humanity. So I ask you, are you living with meaning, or are you merely surviving with comfort? Do your days reflect a purpose that resonates with your soul, or are they filled with distractions that keep the emptiness at bay? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. Because the quiet despair so many feel is not a sign of failure, it is the soul's rebellion against a life without meaning. Frankl believed that to find meaning is to become truly free, because meaning cannot be taken from you. Comfort can vanish, wealth can crumble, status can fade, but purpose endures. And once you discover it, even suffering transforms into a path toward growth. This is the invitation of existential emptiness, not to despair when the void appears, but to listen. Beneath the silence, your life is asking you, why are you here? What gives your existence weight? What is the story only you can write? By now, we have peeled back many layers of deception. The simulations of reality, the illusion of freedom, the pressure of the herd, the mask of the persona, and the void of existential emptiness. Each of these forces works together to keep us distracted, obedient, and disconnected from ourselves. But awakening begins the moment we dare to see these illusions for what they are. And once you see, you cannot unsee. Awakening does not mean escaping society or rejecting life altogether. It means shifting your relationship to the world around you. It means stepping out of unconscious participation in the script and becoming the author of your own story. This transformation is not abstract. It can be lived through 3 essential steps: awareness, responsibility, and connection, awareness. The first step is to recognize the illusions that shape your life. This requires radical honesty. Where do your desires come from? Are they born from your soul or implanted through repetition and expectation? Where are you living as a performance rather than in truth? To become aware is not comfortable. It often brings grief, because you see how much of your life has been built on illusions. But awareness is the crack in the cage. Once you recognize a lie, it loses its power over you. Responsibility. The second step is to claim responsibility for your own values. Freedom, as Erich Fromm reminded us, is not the ability to choose between endless options, but the willingness to create your own path. This means daring to ask difficult questions. What do I truly value? What kind of person do I want to become? What is the meaning I want to embody in this life? And then hardest of all, it means acting on those answers, even when the herd disagrees. Responsibility is heavy because it strips you of excuses. But it is also liberating because it gives you back your power. Connection. The final step is to live beyond the ego, to connect your life with something greater than yourself. For some, this is found in spirituality, in the recognition of a higher reality beyond the material. For others, it is found in love, in creativity, in the pursuit of justice, or in the quiet dignity of compassion. Whatever form it takes, Connection pulls you out of isolation and anchors your freedom and meaning. It reminds you that your authenticity is not just for yourself, it contributes to the world. A life rooted in connection is a life that cannot be easily deceived. Awakening does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process, filled with setbacks, doubts, and moments of fear. But every act of awareness, every choice rooted in responsibility, every connection made with truth deepens your freedom. And over time, the illusions lose their hold. You no longer need to chase the herd because you are guided by your own compass. You no longer need to wear the mask because your authenticity becomes your strength. You no longer fear emptiness because you have discovered meaning that cannot be shaken. This is the awakening, not a dramatic escape from society, but a quiet revolution within yourself. It is the courage to live authentically in a world built on illusions. And in doing so, you become living proof that the great deception can be broken. We have traveled together through the many layers of society's deception, the simulations that replace reality, the illusion of freedom, the conformity of the herd, the masks we wear, and the quiet emptiness that grows when life is stripped of meaning. Each of these forces has power. Each works silently to shape how we think, what we pursue, and even who we believe we are. But at the heart of it all lies the most dangerous illusion of them all, the belief that you are powerless. This is the lie that keeps people obedient. If you believe you cannot change, you will never try. If you believe your voice doesn't matter, you will remain silent. If you believe the system is stronger than your soul, you will keep following its script. And yet, history proves again and again that individuals who refuse to remain asleep reshape the world. Socrates questioned the false wisdom of Athens. Buddha exposed the illusions of suffering. Viktor Frankl discovered meaning even in the darkest conditions. These were human beings, not superheroes who simply chose to live authentically when the world demanded conformity. Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." That is the essence of awakening. To live by your own truth is not easy, it is an act of rebellion. But it is also the only way to live fully. So I leave you with this challenge. Do not let the great deception define your life. Do not waste your years chasing illusions that crumble the moment you touch them. Instead, choose to awaken. Choose to listen to the voice within you that society cannot silence. Because the deception may be powerful, but your truth is far more powerful still. And the moment you claim it, nothing can ever deceive you in the same way again. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to join this journey of awakening. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this video so that others can begin to peel back the illusions with us. And I want to hear from you. What part of this exploration struck you most deeply? Which deception do you see most clearly in your own life? Leave a comment below, because awakening does not happen in isolation. It grows stronger when we seek truth together.